Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season premiere of the James Miller Coaches Show. My name is Lorenzo Robinson, and it is an absolute honor to be back as your host for season 2 of our show. If you're new, then this is an opportunity for everybody to get a chance to see and hear straight from the horse's mouth what is going on with the Reinhardt football program. You get to hear from the head eagle in charge, James Miller, and this is a chance for everyone, the fans, the haters, the naysayers, everybody in between, to get an opportunity to hear about what Reinhardt football has going on. Season 1 was a success, and I'm looking forward to another great season. So actually joining me to start this edition of the show, episode 1 of season 2, is the man with the plan, the director of athletics, Coach Jonathan Burton. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Good. Thanks for having me, Zoe.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's another exciting season for Reinhardt, but just for you now in your second full season as the director of athletics, how has it been for you to be back?
Well, it feels good to be back. Most importantly, a little more comfortable. First year, you kind of feel like you're just taking water from a fire hose, and you're taking it from all different angles, and a lot of new things, a lot of things that you've never been a part of. I mean, you're used to being a college baseball coach all your life, and then you transition into the administrative side and the AD. But I'm really looking forward to year 2. I feel like we're getting ready to have one of our better years. Really excited about the coaches we have for all of our teams. But most importantly, I feel like that we've got a sense of stability now in our program and our department of what our true culture and identity are trying to be.
Yes, sir. So that's definitely a good point that you make when you bring up culture. So I know that there's been a lot of turnover over these last few seasons, bringing on different coaches, making some staff moves and changes. How do you balance bringing in new and fresh voices for these programs while also maintaining the culture that Reinhardt's been able to build over the years?
Yeah, I think probably the most important thing that I learned as a college coach was that, you're only as good as your assistant coaches. Like, you can be a great head coach, but if you don't have good support and people that can extend your message, you can't be a very good coach. It's the same thing as an athletic director. If you don't have good head coaches that are really going to buy into your vision and what you want to do, it may not always be things that you like to hear or things that you want to hear, but at the end of the day, the bigger picture, we're trying to make Reinhardt the premier athletic department in this area. And in order to do that, there were some tough decisions that had to be made, but the decisions that were made were in the best interest of our institution. And we're very proud and excited for the young people that are joining us as head coaches, and also the returning veterans that we have to kind of blend in together and kind of build that culture, one that's built on toughness and hard work and accountability. And I remember one of the first things I told these coaches that I don't know anything about being an athletic director yet. I said, but the one thing I do know how to do is I know how to run a program. And I'm going to try to run this department like I ran our baseball program, and I'm going to hold our head coaches accountable. And I feel like that, after the first year, everybody's starting to get a hang of what I want to do and how I want to do it. But most importantly, I think I'm starting to understand our coaches too and what they want to do as well.
Yes, sir. So even going back to my time when I was a football player at Reinhardt, just comparing the way the facilities and everything looks from my time taking snaps to what it is now, I've been so impressed with the changes in infrastructure, the way that the facilities have improved. What has just gone into you really trying to make everything look a little bit different?
Well, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of, you got to have a vision, you got to have a plan, then you got to have people around this area that want to support that vision and plan. And luckily for us, I don't shy away from it. I think it's something we celebrate. As a department last year, we fundraised over $700,000, and we improved our facilities by almost $330,000. But that was much needed. It allowed us to do these new video boards that we have on campus that are going to give us a different feel. I've asked our coaches, the fundraising that we do, we focus on doing it for the kids, and let me handle all the facility upgrades and all those things that you need. And I came in the first meeting I had with each head coach and asked them to give me a list, and then I kind of go through each list and I kind of put the things in order of what I feel like is important and what I need to do. But make no mistake about it, we are trying to do everything we can for every program to be successful, and some are taking longer than others, but others we're fortunate to be able to make the progress that we've made so quickly.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. So We're going to take football out of the equation.
Yeah.
What fall sport are you most excited to see compete this season?
Oh, good grief. You did put me on the spot. If I had to pick a sport, and again, I'm excited to see all of them play.
Disclaimer, we love all of you guys. We do.
I'm really excited to see men's soccer. I love what Coach Reeks is bringing to the table in terms of just how much he loves Reinhardt. He played here. He was part of it as an assistant coach when Joey Johnson was here. And I love the demeanor of the team and what I see so far. But make no bones about it, we've got a new women's volleyball head coach that's going to do really well. That was at Georgetown as the men's coach. And there's a lot of good young coaches that are going to do some really good things here. I hope we can retain them for as long as we can.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So now going into the football season that we're getting ready to embark on starting on Thursday night, just sort of what's your gauge of where the football program is right now?
Well, I mean, listen, I'm a big James Miller fan. I haven't shied away from that at all, and that started when I became the baseball coach here. But I'm just excited to see the growth of what we have in year two after our discussions as a head coach and AD, and seeing the things that we've talked about in the off season of things that I think we could probably do better and things that he thinks we could do better. And then we get a chance to come out and play against one of the best teams in the country. And Lindsey Wilson is a very, very difficult team for us to play right out of the gate. But it also gives us such a measuring stick to know exactly where we want to go and what we want to do. Because if we're going to be a national champion at this level, you're going to have to beat the Lindsey Wilsons. You're going to have to find a way to beat those type of programs. And going on the road and playing at a place that I know very well at Lindsey, and how much they've grown and how well they've done, it's going to be a big challenge. But we got a great coaching staff. They work relentless. I mean, the hours that they put in to this team, the planning, the preparation, and then seeing how the players kind of feed off of it. Just getting a chance to talk to them a little bit when they got back on campus. You kind of feel like there's a little more of a serious mentality this year, that we still got a little disappointment from how we lost that playoff game last year. We need to find a way to fuel that into the first week. And, both teams are going to be excited. But hopefully we'll be more excited and we'll execute at a higher level, and we'll get a big road win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm glad that you touched on Lindsey Wilson being a place you're very familiar with. You spent a lot of time there in Columbia, Kentucky. So just how will it be for you to have sort of that homecoming of sorts?
Yeah, it'll be good to get back and see a lot of the coaches that I was there with. And, I'm sure they'll take their jabs at me and they'll have fun with it. But, no, it's anytime you go back to a place that you spend a lot of time. I mean, when me and Amanda first got married, first place we moved together was in Glasgow and Columbia, Kentucky, and Turner was born in Kentucky. And so we have a lot of fond memories of our time there. The 7 years, went to 2 World Series, did a lot of good things for the baseball program there. But there's a lot of good people at Lindsey that are running that program and that department, and it'll be good to see them. But I wouldn't be lying if I didn't hope we go up there and win. That would be the icing on the cake, and it would be no different if they came down here too.
Absolutely. And, last question for you, Coach. You did talk about that game where Lindsey Wilson and Reinhardt played last season. Just what do you remember from that matchup, and how do you see us stacking up this season?
That was hard fought. I mean, I don't know that a team had played them that well that early. I felt like in the first we dominated the first half, and we left some opportunities out there. But then I think where they came back on us in the second half is, you could kind of see the physicality on the offensive line. You could see the quarterback getting more confident. I felt like they kind of controlled the line of scrimmage on us a little bit. But I also think they kind of inserted some of their experience against us. We had some young players at some key positions that got a lot of opportunity, but I also think that you could tell they were much older and they had been in some of those games for a little bit longer. So that's always going to be the challenge, because, I mean, if you look at what they've done, their track record, they played deep into postseason. They've played very deep, and that's our goal every year, is to host a first-round game and play deep into postseason. So this is going to be a great opportunity for us to see how we stack up. But if I go back and think about that game, it's really a tale of two halves. I mean, if the game was over at halftime, we would have got a convincing win. But unfortunately, it's 4 quarters, and they found a way to get it done when it matters the most.
Yes, sir. Should be a lot of fun,
Yeah.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Zoe.
joining me.
Thank you.
Man with the plan, Coach Jonathan Burton. And now we're going to go through a bit of a transitional period here. But remember, Reinhardt and Lindsey Wilson, a Week 0 matchup Thursday night. 2 top 25 teams facing off against each other. I believe it's going to be 6 p.m. Central Time, so 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys tune in to watch that. And now I'm going to get an opportunity to talk to the namesake of our show. Always a pleasure to see his smiling face, Coach James Miller.
What's going on?
How you doing today, sir?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, it's been a long time no see, man.
Long time.
Absolutely. So just how was the off season for you? Just being able to spend some time with your family, spend a little bit of time with your players in different capacities. How was everything for you during the off season?
Off seasons are always hard for me. I tell the kids all the time I don't have many hobbies, so it gets a little difficult. But no, it was great. I got to spend some time with my family. Went down to the beach for a week. I was with the kids on campus. We did camps all over the state of Georgia in June, which is always fun. I always enjoy those. So it was a whirlwind. I feel like as I get older, it goes faster. So, but it definitely enjoyed it. Got a good break. Enjoyed my family, enjoyed my wife, enjoyed my kids, and now we're back in the salt mines, back on the grind.
And the hay is in the barn, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So coming off of last season, another conference championship for you and your program. And I know that that's sort of routine for you guys at this stage. How do you balance being able to appreciate what you've been able to do so far, but also striving for more as the seasons go on?
I mean, that can be difficult. It can be difficult to keep the kids grounded and make sure you're doing everything you can to be successful every single day. We just are going to continue like we always have at Reinhardt to coach them as hard as we can, push them as hard as we can. Our place isn't for everybody. I think you got to have pretty tough skin to play at Reinhardt, to play for our staff, to play for me. And we just are going to continue to push them every single day to be the best they can, not just for football, but for when they're done with football, for when they're done with playing, when they have a job, when they have a wife, when they have their kids, to just be able to know that what they went through with us, we hopefully prepared them for those difficult moments. So that's why we do what we do. Like, I really love winning. I'm super competitive. You won't meet somebody as competitive as me. But in the end, it's about making these kids the best young men we can that will represent the school in the community, represent themselves, represent their families, and just make great decisions. So that's what we're trying to do every day.
So one of those guys who's really taken on that leadership role within the community, being someone who's become an ambassador for the school, Nigel Curtis is going to get inducted into the Reinhardt Hall of Fame next week.
What
Just
a guy.
speak a little bit about the career that he was able to put together during his time as a Reinhardt Eagle.
So I come to Reinhardt 2014. Nigel's playing running back. It's the spring. I think it's like my second or third practice. We're doing a walkthrough. He messes the play up. He rips his helmet off, throws it across the field, has some choice words for coaches, and kind of walks off and storms off. And I'm like, this is our starting running back? Like, this is who we got? And then after 15 practices in the spring, I came back to, my senses, like, this kid's pretty good. And he's a stud, man. He just such a competitor, hates to lose. Like, I can't tell how he played in a game is exactly how he practiced. He practiced with extreme intensity. He played with extreme intensity. He ran the ball like angry, like he hated people. And that's why he was such a good player. And he hated losing. He hated messing up for his teammates. Just a great, great kid that loved Reinhardt, loved his teammates, loved being part of the community. And, scored 27 touchdowns, I think, as a senior. Just a great, great football player that we really leaned on my first year here to make us really, really good football team. He got the ball a lot. He got the ball often. And I remember beating Pikeville at home, and we were running belly to the tight end over and over and over as fast as we could because they couldn't stop it. And it wasn't because we were blocking anybody. It was because he had the ball. So he's just a great kid. He's turned into an awesome dad. He's turned into an awesome coach, a great teacher, a guy that, to be honest with you, I tell the kids all the time, he really struggled in the classroom. And he had to pass the toughest teacher at Reinhardt, Dr. Gregory, and he found a way to do it. Like, he didn't make excuses. He just put his head down and grinded it out and found a way to get a degree. And now he's got his bachelor's from Reinhardt and his master's from West Georgia, and he's doing big things, man. He's an awesome kid. Awesome kid.
Yes, sir. So also wanted to talk a little bit about, you strolling down memory lane a little bit. What are some other great memories you have during some of those earlier stages that you spent at Reinhardt?
Man, a lot. There's a ton of them. We actually beat Lindsey Wilson at Lindsey Wilson. I think it was like 49-48. I think Coach Burton was at that game. When Drew was the head coach, I was the offensive line coach. I remember coming to the sideline, guys, don't relax because they're going to score and we're going to have to go back out there. So it was a shootout. There's a bunch of them. I remember beating Southern Oregon at home. And I remember I told the kids this story the other day. We practiced overtime in fall camp. We got to overtime against Southern Oregon, and I brought the whole team up. And I said, remember, we practiced this in fall camp. We're prepared for this moment. Let's go win this moment. And Treve Kane on 16 right off the tight end's butt for a touchdown. And we wanted to take it to the national championship. That was really cool. We beat Georgetown that year at home, which was a really awesome game. We played Montana Tech in the playoffs early on, which was a physical. They were huge. That's the biggest team I think I've ever seen in NAIA. They were enormous. Playing Marion at Marion, playing St. Francis in a snowstorm, and their old coach Kevin Donnelly made us come out before the game because it was snowing. He made a fake rule. This is a true story. Fake rule that we had to go out after pregame, walk across the field in the snow, and shake the other guy's hand before the game. And it wasn't a rule. He just wanted to get the Georgia guys in the snow. That's a legit story. He told Coach Cronick that in our playoff meeting the night before that we had to do that. It was in the rules.
Wow.
And we didn't look it up, so we were out there and our kids were freezing.
Shaking hands.
Oh, yeah. We have no, winter jackets. So we got kids out there in hoodies that aren't, hey, you're not going to play, so go put a hoodie on. Just stay warm. It was brutal, man. That's the worst I've ever felt in a game. I've never been that cold in my life. It was awful.
Yes, sir. So now shifting gears, moving into this season.
Oh, yeah.
You obviously have some talent coming back, but you'll also be replacing a starting quarterback, Taylor Jackson, replacing dynamic duo at running back, Jock Colbert, Jamarion Walker. A few different players having to step up for you in different positions. What is your gauge of where your team is going into week 0?
I like where we're at. I think we've had a good fall camp. I think Steph's playing really good football. I think he's seeing things fast. I think he's making good decisions. Obviously, at running back, right now it's kind of, we got to see who we got and see what they can do in a live situation. But I like the kids we have between Jaden Ponder, Harlem Diamond, Isaiah Payton, Amir Williams, other guys that I'm probably not mentioning that I probably should. But I really like that room. I think they all bring a little something different to the table. Jaden Ponder's a guy that's been waiting his turn for a long time. He's been here a long time. He's the kind of kid you like in your program because he's waited a long time. I've coached him hard. I'm really, really tough on him. And I think he's going to come out and I think he's going to play really good football. Harlem's kind of your do-everything. He's like your Swiss Army knife. He can block. He can run. He can catch. He knows the whole offense. I think Coach Hennis had him check the call sheet today because he would know exactly what was supposed to be on there. Isaiah Payton's a little bit, I don't want to say he's Ja because I don't think he ever tried to compare people. But he's similar to Ja. He's hard to tackle in a phone booth, really, really dynamic with the football in his hands, and a really good kid. And then Amir's kind of like Harlem. He's a bruiser. He's a bigger back, 200-pounder that you really want to, let him run somebody over. So I like that room. We're super young, man. Like, we got a lot of my dad just got in town today, and I was talking to him on the car ride over. I think we have 8 sophomores that are going to start this game.
Wow.
I don't know if I've ever had this much turnover going into a season. Like, it's a pretty significant amount. But to me, like I told the coaches, that's what excites me. Like, it's a little bit easier when you know what you got coming back. I don't really know what we got coming back. Like, there's a lot of new starters, and that's exciting to me. I'm excited about what we have up front on offense and defense. Linebackers, I think, is probably our deepest position on the team. We got 4 kids that I think can really play football. Secondary, we're going to be breaking in 2 new safeties, but we got, some corners with experience with Kish and Namari Jenkins. He kind of switched positions, moving from dog to corner, but it's played a lot of football. Obviously, we got a dynamic kicker back. Alex Hansen's back, and he's one of the best players in the country. So excited about him. So, there's a lot of unknowns, but there's, it kind of pumps me up because, I don't really know to a full extent what people are going to be like in a real game situation. But I'm excited about what we have, and I think we got really good kids. And I didn't talk about the receivers. Xavier Brantley coming back. He'll be ready to go. Marquise Wilson is a young kid that's going to play a lot, that's made a lot of plays this fall camp that I'm excited to watch play. We got a freshman, Sean Williams, who's a big old joker that can really go up and get the football. So a lot of new faces. It's kind of weird. It's like we got some really, really old guys like Steph and Harlem and Kish and guys like that, but then we have a lot of new, fresh faces like Cooper and Isaiah Payton and Braddock Vohan and Dan Davis that have been in the program, but this is going to be their first, legit start. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I'm glad you spoke about sort of that opportunity that exists for a lot of these younger players. So how do you really emphasize taking advantage of your opportunity, wanting to give everything that you have, but also trying to let them know that, hey, it's just a game. We still got to settle down. How do you try to balance those 2 different things with a young group?
I told the O-line today there's going to be nerves. Like, if you're not nervous, something's wrong with you. Like, it's natural to be nervous. Like, I get nervous still. Like, if I took my headphones off, my ears would be red because I'm nervous. Like, I got anxiety. So, it's okay to be nervous, but you got to channel it in the right way. We can't get too high. We can't get too low. If something bad happens, it's okay. Somebody's going to mess up. People are going to make mistakes. It's handling them the right way, handling the adversity, making sure we play one play at a time, moving on to the next one when we mess up, and just try to keep doing better. And you can fix all issues with effort. If we have great effort, you can fix a lot of problems. So understand that it's going to be the first game. There's going to be a lot of jitters. There's going to be a lot of butterflies. That's okay. Just try to do the best you can every single snap, and try not to have the huge mistake. Going the wrong way or stuff like that. That's when you get in trouble. So we got to try to limit those. We got to really take care of the football, and we got to tackle well, and we got to block well. And that's football. If you can tackle well, if you can block well, and if you can take care of the football, you got a great opportunity to win. So we've been harping on that. We work on it just about every day. So we'll see how it goes, man. We're gonna get out there, and I'm excited, man.
I'm excited too.
I'm really fired up. I'm really
excited.
fired up.
It feels
to get on
like
the bus.
football season.
Yes, yes. I'm sick of preseason NFL. Bunch of guys. Now all these guys are going back, to college. It's so weird. Right now.
We don't have to. Yeah,
it's so weird.
It's a little crazy. So an interesting scheduling, I would say, quirk that I was able to notice doing some research on the team this year. 5th straight season that you scheduled a game for week 0.
Yeah.
4th time in the last 5 seasons that you're going to be playing on Thursday night on week 0. So one of the first games of the season. How do you really, it seems like you enjoy playing those early games, playing before anyone else gets a chance to put anything out there. What goes into you scheduling these games in week 0?
Just the opportunity to go play. I like competition. I like playing people. I'm not scared to play anybody. I don't care if we got to go play in the Buffalo's parking lot. We'll go play. We're going to play anybody, anywhere. We don't care who you are. We're not going to worry about the opponent. We're going to worry about us. We're going to try to prepare our guys as hard as we can. We don't care if you're one of the better NAI programs or one of the best D2 programs, which is, another game this year. We're just going to prepare as hard as we can. We're going to go play anybody. We're going to give it our best effort, and we're just going to try to get better every single week. And that's what I'm looking for from this team. We're young, but let's try to get better every single week. Let's find something we can do better every single week and just focus on us and not worry about the opponent. I know that's an old coaching cliche, but it's true. Just worry about what we do and not worry about what they do. So that's what we try to do. So I don't know if I answered your question about week 0 games, but Coach Burton put on the schedule, so we're going to go play.
Yes, sir. Anytime, any place. That's the message. That's the message.
That's right.
So now the opponent from Reinhardt. I know Reinhardt fans have had this game circled ever since the schedule was announced in April. Reinhardt and Lindsey Wilson. After we take this break, we're going to get an opportunity to preview Reinhardt's game on Thursday. This is the James Miller Coaches Show.
Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Buffalo's Cafe for the football season.
Welcome to Credit Union of Georgia, where we bring you the best of both worlds.
Life doesn't stop when damage occurs. Southeast Restoration is here to guide you from property disaster to property restored.
The need for heart care can arise when we least expect it. When you look to Northside Hospital Heart Institute, you're never alone. With a leading care team of 100 physicians in more than 55 locations, you get the expertise and quality treatment you can only find at Northside, with advanced cardiovascular services and unwavering support. Because we're with you every step of the way. Northside Hospital Heart Institute. We lead with heart.
No biggie. Not even one stain, and an easy cleanup made easier with Mohawk's new cleaning kit.
Now, you're probably also wondering, how, or why, or where? Why don't I show you? Let's take a trip to Milltown Flooring.
If you have any flooring needs, be sure to pay us a visit, because we're here for you. Mohawk's Redwood at Milltown. Step into better flooring.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the James Miller Coaches Show. I'm still joined by the namesake of our show, Coach James Miller. So now we're going to take this opportunity. It was a nice chance to ease into the season, right? Talk about different things, sort of a water cooler conversation. Now, it's time for business, right?
Let's do it.
Time for business. Week 1, week 0, but week 1, going up against the top 10 opponent, the Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders. Very familiar opponent for you and your program. Just talk a little bit about what we'll see on Thursday from that group.
So offensively, they probably got the best player in the country. Their running back. I'm terrible with opponent names. But
I'll get to it later on.
Yeah, their running back, he's probably the best player in the country. He's a baller. Really, really good football player. A lot of people have struggled stopping him. If he gets out in open space, he's electric. He can go to the distance. He can run you over. He can make you miss. He's a really, really good football player. Super special kid. I think it's a great challenge for our defense. I mean, if I was on defense, I would be excited to play him. He's that kind of guy. He's super dynamic. Football player that can, anytime he touches the ball, he could go to the distance. So he's a really, really good player. Their quarterback, which I believe his last name's Rice, really, really good football player. They got a bunch of guys up front that are older. I think 3 graduate offensive linemen. One's a returning All-American. I think last name's Montgomery. Really good player. And then they, I would say if they lost anybody from anywhere, it's probably receiver. They lost, I think, their top 2 guys. But they also returned 2 from that group. So they're talented across the board on offense, and their OC does a great job calling plays, great job preparing them. They're super dynamic. They made great adjustments at halftime against us last year, and we didn't respond very well. And then defensively, Coach Kleckler is probably one of the best defensive coordinators in all NAI. He just does a great job of mixing it up. You don't know if they're going to be 4-man front, odd front. They're going to blitz. They're going to play coverage. Like, he just kind of brings it from everywhere, throws you a bunch of different stuff that you got to get prepared for. He'll always have something new that you haven't seen. They return number 55 up front, who's a super physical defensive end. Number 32, their starting Mike, is a really, really stout football player, 225-pound linebacker. And then the kid that I thought probably made the play that was part of the reason they won the game, we broke a long run right before halftime. And number 6, I think it's Grant, chased Jaw down and caught him from behind, and we ended up having to kick a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown. And that was a huge difference in the game. The effort he showed on that play, like I showed it to our guys on how you're supposed to play football. Like it was such a great play. So that was the difference between winning and losing, that play right there. So all the credit goes to him. But they're a really, really good football team. Like I said, Coach Kleckler, on both sides of the ball, you can tell they're super well coached, super prepared. They know situational football. They play extremely hard. I mean, we're in for a dogfight.
Absolutely, and you touched on it a little bit, some of the pieces they have on offense. They have probably one of the better returning trios in the country offensively. You talk about quarterback Tate Rice, running back Tay Saunders, receiver Max Gainey. They have so many different weapons. Obviously, Coach Jay Bright, their offensive coordinator, formerly the OC at Bethel. Everywhere he's been, he's led some very impressive offenses, high-octane groups.
Really good player, too, at Cumberland. Yep, he played at Cumberland, Kentucky, the red one. I always get them and Tennessee confused, but he was a quarterback for them. Really good player.
Okay.
Really, really good player.
Okay, I could see it. I could see it.
Yep.
I could see it. So a unique challenge for your defense. What's the message for them going into this week?
We got to tackle. We gotta try to make them drive the length of the field. We can't give up big plays, and we gotta gang tackle that running back. So we got to be super disciplined in our gap assignments. Got to be great with our eyes. Just got to know exactly what the call is, and then make sure we're in our gaps, executing the call. You know, really, first game of the year, you're always going to have mistakes. So it comes down to, like, fundamentals and techniques. Fundamentals, and that's really every game. Fundamentals and techniques. You know, we're going to teach you techniques. We're going to teach you fundamentals that are going to help you execute the plays we want to win. Like scheme and all that stuff's great, but effort, fundamentals, and technique is what's going to win you the football game. So we got to make sure we're in our gaps. We got to gang tackle. We got to run great pursuit angles, and we just got to find a way to keep them in front of us and not give up the big play.
So speaking of effort, tenacity, toughness, I was very impressed with the way that your group showed up last year during that game when you really sort of punched them in the mouth a little bit. I mean, you jumped out to that big lead. You ran the ball for over 200 yards in that first half. A really fast start. Second half, kind of ran out of gas. I mean, a team that's top 10 last year, top 10 this season for a reason.
Sure.
What are some lessons that you can take from that game last year where you started off so strong that you could take into this season in this matchup?
You know, we talked a lot about, you know, there's a football coaching thing called the 8-minute drill where you do the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the first quarter. So when Ja broke that run, we got held to a field goal. Well, if we score a touchdown, it's probably a different game. Then coming out of halftime, we kick it off to them, and they go on a 13-play drive and score a touchdown. So we went from being up 24-14 to 24-21 when we could have been up 28-21. Like, it's just a huge swing. And we didn't execute that well. We didn't do a good job as coaches. We didn't do a good job as players. And then no matter what happens, because you're going to have bad moments, it's not just one thing that, you know, you could have done better or could have done worse. We had to find a way to make a play to end the game, and we just never did that. We could never find a way to make a play in the second half. When we really, really needed a play, we really, really needed a big play. We couldn't find a way to execute it. So I think execution is going to be super huge. Don't allow ourselves to get too high like we talked about earlier. I think maybe that was part of it at halftime. You know, you're up 24-14 on a really, really good team, top 10 team, and we probably got a little too high, felt a little too good about ourselves, and we should have just kept the hammer down, and we didn't do a good job of that. And that falls on not the kids, that falls on me, because I got to set the direction coming out of halftime, and I didn't do a good job of that. So that's all stuff we talked about as a leadership group. You know, I asked a certain group at the end of the season what they thought we needed to do different or better going into this season, and that was one thing they brought up was halftime, how to handle it, and coming out and doing those things better. So And I think that was something that we did better at the end of the year. I thought that team really grew up after that game, and I think it was what kind of propelled us to the season we ended up having, was how we played in that game.
And that was a point that I made a lot in broadcast last year. I felt like that was sort of a turning point where you can see that first half was everything about Reinhardt football sort of coming together, the way that you guys ran the ball, the physicality. That just seemed like the turning point for that group.
Yeah, I think we kind of found our identity in that game. Like, we're going to run the quarterback. We're going to play multiple quarterbacks. Like, our quarterbacks are live in practice a lot, Steph will tell you. Like, we don't really care because he's going to get hit in the game because he's going to run a lot in the game.
Yeah.
If you don't create that callus like we talk about, it's like being a physical football team. Like, in order to be a physical football team, you got to hit. Like, there's no, like, hidden message there. Like, if you want to be physical, you got to hit. So we hit a lot in practice. Our kids, they complain about it a lot, but that's just part of the game. You got to do it. And that was something Coach Beamer taught me, and I've always been like that. I don't care if I was coaching defense at Pembroke or offensive line at Reinhardt. We were always going to hit, and we were always going to be physical because that's what I was taught when I was coming up. And, I agree with you, though. I thought we found our identity after that game, and then we kind of just built on it on both sides of the football. And I think we got better as the season progressed.
So week 0, very hostile environment.
Oh, yeah.
Going into Columbia, Kentucky, going onto that Lindsey Wilson campus, Lindsey Wilson University. Last year, Lindsey Wilson in their week 0 game, believe it was against Texas Wesleyan, a top 10 matchup. And
they went
dominated.
down there, right?
No, that was
up home. Yeah.
That was at home. And it was seen as a bit of an upset, but it was sort of an announcement for Lindsey Wilson, letting the country know they were making a statement. And that was a crazy environment, all the clips that I saw from that game. How do you prepare your group, even the young guys who haven't seen it? How do you really try to prepare them for what they're going to see?
You talk about, it's so hard to kind of do that. Like, obviously you talk about it, you discuss it with the group, but to be honest with you, until you get into the moment, it's kind of hard to prepare for it. Like, you hope the older guys like Steph and Kish and guys that have been in battles, played against Southeastern last year at night in that environment, you hope we'll have those conversations as well. But it is tough to prepare for. Like when I was coming up in college, we would play music at practice just to create crowd noise. And I talked about that, doing that tomorrow possibly in practice, just to try to create some crowd noise just to make us communicate better so we, make us be louder, make us be more vocal. But it's tough, man, especially with a young football team. I think you almost got to be in the moment and kind of just get in the moment, and then you'll kind of figure it out on your own. But it is a lot of conversations between coaches and players, just preparing them for all those things.
So now it's time for my favorite segment of the show. And you should be very familiar with this segment.
Oh, yeah.
This is the James Miller Word of the Week. This is Coach Miller's opportunity to set the tone for his program, set the tone for his team, set the tone for the fan base and everyone watching our show. My personal favorite segment. Coach James Miller, what is your word of the week for week 0?
Effort. I want to see us play with unreal effort. Like, win, lose, or draw, I want us to be the best effort team. Like, I want to play as hard as we can, as long as we can. And I think if we do that, we'll give ourselves a great chance to be successful. Nothing's promised, but effort can make up for a lot of mistakes. So we got to have great effort on Thursday night. And I think our kids are excited. I think they're ready to play. To be honest with you, it was a super physical camp, and I think they're ready to hit somebody else. So we'll see what happens. We're going to roll the ball out, and let's get after it. So.
You know what they say, nothing left to do
No.
But to spot the ball.
Spot the ball, baby. Spot the ball.
Coach.
Great to see you, man.
Thank
Always
you so
a pleasure.
much.
You're looking great, too, man.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Been in that weight room.
A little bit. I'm trying to. Coach James Miller, everybody. So now we're going to get an opportunity to hear from some of the players. Yeah, give it up for Coach Miller. Coach Miller, we are in front of a live audience as well, folks. So now we'll get an opportunity to speak to one of the leaders, one of those returning guys that Coach Miller spoke about. Also, an alumni of one of the most prestigious schools on the south side of Atlanta, down there in Clayton County. Quarterback Stephen Craig. Steph, how you doing today, sir? Go ahead, give you a chance to get yourself together. Man, you're so far away from me.
I get closer to you.
Yeah, man. Act like you know something, you know what I'm saying?
Mike, good?
Yeah, you good.
All right.
How you doing today, man?
Doing good. How you doing?
I can't complain, brother. I can't complain. So, Coach Miller brought your name up on a few different occasions. You're obviously a veteran of this team. You've played in a lot of big games. You started in games. This is not your first rodeo, so to speak.
Yeah.
What are some lessons that you've learned throughout your journey that prepares you for your senior season?
Lessons I'll say is, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs in your career, but you got like two choices to make. You can just stay down or like rise to the occasion. So if you stay down, you just being okay, like you're okay with what happened, or you can work, try to get back up. And another thing is like, just worry about the next play. Like say you have a good play or a bad play. Like don't be too high, don't be too low, just worry about the next play. And then it's probably the top two lessons I learned so far.
Absolutely. So what's one way that you feel like you've grown as a leader during your time at Reinhardt?
See, this is like a big thing for me because when I first came in, like I used to think, you just lead by example, like not vocal leader. But Coach Miller used to get on to me a lot saying you got to lead, like, talk, they'll listen to you. But I'll say just bringing like the guys together and just believing in myself that like, they'll listen to me if I say something. So just being like a vocal leader and just not being scared of losing friends, like not being scared of who like me, who don't like me, just like communicating and leading with my voice.
Yes, sir. So obviously, as the quarterback, you have to have your finger on the pulse of the entire team. You're not just looking at your room. You're not just looking at guys behind you. You're looking at the line. You're looking at the receivers, offense, defense, everything going on, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here.
All right.
Who is one guy that you feel like isn't getting enough attention right now but will step up for your team this fall?
One guy. Only one?
Just one.
I'll say Marquise Wilson, receiver. He had a great camp from Colquitt County, or Moultrie, however they said. But Marquise Wilson, he had a great camp, making competitive catches, blocking, just great camp, being consistent.
And we do have a very strong Colquitt County contingent watching our show. When they come to the home games, they'll let us know whether or not they want to say Colquitt County, Moultrie, however they want to say it. So I'm sure that someone will come up to me and have that conversation with me.
Yeah.
But absolutely, Marquise Wilson, member of that receiver group. So now for you and your team, what's your personal goal for this season? And then what is your goal for the entire team?
I'll say my personal goal, first team all conference. And I just want to win, to be honest. Personal goal, win, first team all conference. And then team goal, come together. Like, I feel like we all love each other, just play for each other, win the conference, win the natty, of course, and host a playoff game, get past the first round, and just, like, compete every week and just play for each other.
I like that. Steph.
Lorenzo.
Thank you so much for joining
problem.
me, man. It's Reinhardt's quarterback, Steph Craig. Also, again, alumni of the very prestigious Lovejoy High School. Okay, just making sure that's known. All right, so now we're going to have an opportunity to speak with one of the leaders on defense, a defensive back, Kish Wright. Kish, how you doing today, sir? Go ahead and let you settle in, get your mic on. This is a live show, so you got to allow for us to transition in between guys. Kish, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's a pleasure to see you. So people who don't know, you have a bit of another kind of side hustle, so to speak. Did you want to talk about that a little bit? This is your chance. You have the floor.
I cut hair, work on cars. I try to do everything to keep myself busy, try not to limit myself, basically.
Hey, jack of all trades.
Yep.
You do a little
Yep.
bit of everything. So you are a guy who's just like Steph. You've been around for a while. I think you guys actually came in during that same class, actually. Was it 2022?
Yeah.
2022. So you're a guy that you've seen a lot of different things. You actually switched positions midway through your career. You went from receiver to defensive back. Just what have you learned over the course of your time here at Reinhardt?
I would say I learned, consistency and preparation is very important. You can't go out to practice one day and, go your hardest and then go out the next day and, drag around, like you don't want to be there. Because then all that's going to translate to the game. And all the things that you were lacking in practice is going to be magnified in the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now you being a player who I remember when that switch was first made of turning you into a defensive back, and you would make a play and the coaches would give you a pat on the back. You would hear a lot of different things, like people were saying, oh, wow, who was that? That's Kish. That was a great play. You're going to get a lot of that when it's new. Now it's an expectation. You're a single-digit guy. You're a guy who's now expected to be a leader in that room. How has that transition been for you, turning into just a guy that people see making a play or two to now you're expected to lead that group?
It was a big transition, but I kind of prepared myself for that already because the first season I played corner, I held myself to a high standard. I never liked getting caught on.
Who does?
Exactly. My coach would always tell me, corners get caught on all the time, this, that, and the third. But, I wasn't hearing it. I would always hold myself to a high standard because, everybody been looking at me as that player. I feel like on the team, it might not have been the fans or, the coaches, but my team seen what I could do and what I could bring to the team. So, they kind of looked up to me as a player to make plays, when it's time to make plays.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I talked to Steph. I put him on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot here as well. Because even though you play corner, you play defensive back, you, as a leader, you have to know what's going on for your entire team.
Yeah.
What's your expectation for Reinhardt's defense this year?
I got very high expectations for the defense. I watch them every day. We flying around, communicating. We doing everything we liked in last year. And it's real it's looking real promising. Like, I'm liking what I see. Everybody's being physical. Everybody's looking hungry, ready to win, ready to play, ready to make up for last season. Y'all bringing it up a lot. And we definitely remember that. So, we just enter every practice with a chip on our shoulder, ready to learn, ready to be coached, and ready to, excel.
Kish, thank you for joining me,
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you. Kish Wright, ladies and gentlemen. So Kish talked a little bit about the young guys on that defense stepping up. Coach Miller spoke about young guys stepping up defensively. Well, how about we get a chance to speak to one of those young rising stars on the defense? A chance to talk to Cooper Negron. How you doing today, sir? We'll let you get yourself adjusted. Yeah, give it up for Cooper, man. First time on the show. Give it up for him.
To answer your question, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I can't complain, brother. I can't complain. So, obviously, you came from North Cobb High School, one of the better programs in the state of Georgia, someone that a lot of Reinhardt fans are very familiar with, seeing you play in high school. Just how did that experience playing for that program prepare you for the next level?
There's not enough words to say about North Cobb, the coaches up there, how much they care on and off the field, just that experience, how much they care about us, just our development, just as kids and people, growing adults, going to the next level and off the field. But like you said, the high competition. We're playing teams like Buford, playing Mill Creeks, playing Carrolltons, playing those teams that you hear about guys going Power 5, Power 4, just to those upper schools. So it's not a huge transition to come up here and to play at this speed. Obviously, it's a different speed. It's college ball. But to play there, how they prepared us, the film study, the work on the field, we're going 5 days a week. We're hitting 2 days a week. Very similar schedule to Coach Miller. Very similar coaching style. They prepared me to be here, to be a young part of this team. And I knew I was going to play, not in a cocky way, but I knew I was going to play at this level and exceeded this level just because how much they prepared me, what that level was to me, what the coaches did for me. And as soon as I met Coach Miller, his coaching style, how we play, how we practice, what we do, I knew I would thrive in this environment.
So every time that I spoke with the defensive coaches last season, I would talk to Coach Miller about the team. I would hear your name get thrown around, and I would go to practice, and I would be like, who is that? They're like, oh, that's okay, I see it. I see it. You were a guy who, you were trusted to make some plays last year. Now it's kind of an expectation for you to do that. What's something that you've improved on from year one going into year two?
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it before, just slowing the game down, right? Really reading my keys, emphasizing the little things. But I think something that I've improved on a lot is just kind of that film study like I was talking about, just the mental game, preparing myself more mentally than it is physical. Obviously, we go hard in the weight room. There's an expectation there. We go hard every day, like Coach Miller says. Even the mental days, the walkthroughs, those are tough days too, because you really got to focus and hone in. But I think an area that I've improved on a lot, besides the physical, is just the mental aspect. Really getting ready, especially for this Lindsey Wilson opponent. What they do, the tells that they have, stuff that they do to get prepared for, is crucial, and it's really crucial. And I think having a guy like me on the defense that can kind of call that stuff out and stuff like that, that helps even sometimes more than just making the big play or making the physical play. Is, hey, they're going to run this. Hey, they're going to do that. They're in this formation. They like to do this. So I just think that mental aspect and getting more confidence for myself. Like Kisha said, over the years, he's had some more confidence build up, but now it's an expectation. I'm not a guy that's been doing it, playing and play out in the game. I got some snaps here and there, a big special teams guy, but this year is really going to be the year that, I'm going to be able to see what I can do, right? So I'm super excited for that.
So you're also a part of what Coach Miller called the most talented room on the team, that linebacker group, obviously 2 returning all-conference performers. You have a few different guys who played for a long time. Slotting into that role now as someone who's expected to get snaps and play very well. How has it been to be able to bounce ideas off of so many veterans within your room?
It's been awesome. To name them, Kamari Poindexter, Julian Stevenson, we had Adam Mwimba last year. Those 3 guys, just as soon as I stepped down, they texted me before I even got to the campus just to show me the culture and the love and the brotherhood, what it was going to be like before I got up here. But just having those guys, how many reps and snaps and do what they do, stuff like I wouldn't think about, like hands-off hips, or like our rules that we keep, the little things, to emphasize them, because the little things are really what matters in the game. But just having those older guys and now having 2 seniors, those starting guys, and then be the backup guy for them and see what they do, it was crucial for me, right? Those guys are super important, and they're super smart. They're super technically sound. They know what they're doing. But the biggest thing for them is they're big leaders, right? And that's eventually what I want to be for this program. It's what I'm starting to become. In this program, I'm a younger guy. I don't have as big of a voice as them, but seeing do what they do and be like, I can be that guy, right? So they're just opening up a hole for me to fit, and it's like it's super important, the relationship I have with them, but not just on the field, but I can talk to them about anything off the field. Julian Stevenson, Kamari Poindexter, not only great players, but great guys.
For sure. So now a chance for you to do a little bit of self-promotion. I know people have this thing, they don't like to talk about themselves for some reason, but you're a guy that people need to get a chance to know, get a chance to see. What can Reinhardt fans expect to see from you this fall?
I think you can just expect for me to give consistent effort. I'm just a guy that, I've never been the biggest. Like you said, I came from North Cobb. I mean, I was probably one of the smallest guys out there, playing 6 foot, 185. I'm just now at a 6 foot, 6'1", playing just now over 200, 205, 210. And like Coach Miller said, there's bigger guys out there. So never really been the biggest. But the one thing you see from me is just all-out effort. I'm always going to run to the ball. I'm always going to be try to be involved in any play any way I can, whether that's just, taking on a hit, taking on a block. But you can expect from me just to give everything I got for this program, because I respect what Coach Miller's done. I respect the coaches. I respect my brothers to my left and to my right. So you can just expect me to give everything I got every play.
Cool.
It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate you, man. Cooper and the Grind, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lorenzo Robinson, and thank you all for tuning in to our new season of the James Miller Coaches Show. Again, please be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 6:30. We'll see you all next time.